By the way, speaking of something that's just been pleasantly surprising, you know those commercials that we've been playing lately for what is this? Who is the sponsor for this? The Place for Children with Autism. You know that one where it's just a little musical interlude? When they first decided to sponsor their business here, this Place for Children with Autism, they said, we just want to play some soft music and let people breathe. And a lot of us here at this radio station are like, that's not good. That's not how commercials work. The staff and the audience will think there's a mistake being made, and the idea that we're going to just lob out 30 seconds of soothing music won't work. Boy, were we wrong. I think these commercials are so effective and just friendly. This Place for Children with Autism. I want to introduce you to Daniel Blank, this guy behind that. After the conversation, I'm going to play his commercial. He's paying the freight. He gets his play. But I just wanted to talk to him about who they are and what this is. So, Daniel, welcome to WGN Radio. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much. And it's very nice to meet you. And I wanted to say that you are adding a wonderful touch to these spots. It's really great to hear.
Well,
Thank you so much.
At the beginning of them, dedicate them, if you will, to a different component of our society. First responders, garbage truck drivers, mailmen, whoever it is that's trying to help us all get through this. Let's just think nice thoughts about them. So, and you could think about it any way you want, but we offer those suggestions via you, and it's I'm telling you, Daniel, it's a good thing I wasn't in that meeting, because I would have said, no, don't do that. I think they're terrific.
Well, it's funny because the original idea, and thankfully your producers changed it, the original idea was for 30 seconds of complete silence. But they said that probably wouldn't work on the radio.
Everybody that would have been a mistake. But but what inspired you? I mean, just because of the tension in the air, you thought, I'm going to buy 30 seconds and give everybody a break?
Well, I was trying to figure out a way to bring people together. And when I was a teacher and I needed to get everybody's attention, I would stand in the front of the room and I would just stand there in quiet. And that would bring people together. And I just thought, well, let's just take a deep breath and let's see if we can just take this moment and be calm, because there's obviously a lot of frightening news out there. And sometimes if we're just in this together, it feels powerful, I'm an eternal optimist. I do see some positive things going on, and they're hard to come by, but our air is cleaner, so that's sending us a message about global warming. If they keep covering the working conditions in these meat plants, we're going to all start eating more vegetables. So there are some good things going on.
Or we're going to take better care of meat workers. Absolutely. I've thought about the fish in the canals in Venice. They're probably going, I don't know what's going on, but this is working out for me. The fish are loving it.
And going for a walk, everybody says hello. Everybody's friendly, and it's when people are getting to know their neighbors, it's really there's some good things going on, and I just try to think of a way to bring people together, and I had no idea that that this would be meaningful, but it seems like it is.
Now, are you a physician?
No, I started the Place for Children with Autism,
and what is that?
And that was. Well, we run centers primarily in underserved communities, and it's interesting because autism, just like this virus, autism knows no boundaries, and it affects kids that are in wealthy communities and not so wealthy communities, but the treatment is completely different. And I felt that we had to go into communities that did not receive services, and I figured out a way to do that, and we have 8 locations in Chicago and 1 in Urbana, and we primarily serve underserved communities. So part of our message is, that we believe in equality, and that's what we're doing.
What do you do at these centers?
We do intensive therapy for children ages 2 to 6. It's called ABA therapy. It's the standard therapy now for children with autism. And one of the really wonderful things is that we hire from within the community. So we've been creating a lot of jobs. We've trained people. We've met with a tremendous amount of success. Our ultimate goal is when children are done with therapy at age 6, our ultimate goal is for them to go into a mainstream classroom. And we've had a lot of success with that.
Is it critical to address autism, or I presume Asperger's too, at an early age like that?
It's the most important factor. And people talk about a spectrum in autism, and my belief is that if you treat children very early as age 2, you can absolutely change their behaviors and change the direction. And one of the key things in treating kids is a lot of these children, especially very early, are nonverbal. So if you can help them get those verbal skills, a lot of the behaviors disappear, because when you're able to communicate, you're able to get rid of a lot of the behaviors that get in your way.
It's funny, though, because a lot of the parents don't realize it or don't want to realize it at 2 or 3. They keep thinking that their kid's just a little behind and that they're going to come out of it, right?
Yeah, but John, that's changing. I mean, that really, I think, if you went back maybe 4 or 5 years ago, there was a tremendous amount of denial. But now I think parents understand that there is something going on. And the message out there is the earlier you get treatment, the better, because once these behaviors become ingrained, they're very difficult to change. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was wondering how people pay for this. Is that a diagnosed thing that insurance pays for? Or how does that work?
Well, by working in underserved communities, we've been able to help families transition from Medicaid onto Obamacare, which was really the purpose of Obamacare. And I actually wrote a letter to President Obama, and he sent me a letter back. I said, you've changed the course of treatment of autism, because now the true purpose of Obamacare was for everybody to have the ability to get good medical care, and therapy falls under that. So we've been able to help families get off of Medicaid, which does not provide therapy, onto private insurance, and then they're able to get coverage. They're able to get care.
And that component of ACA is still there, even though the Trump administration wanted to get rid of a lot of that. The Congress evidently did too. Is that element still there? They can still get that kind of coverage?
Yeah. I mean, there was some talk about getting rid of pre-existing conditions, but every time that's come up, it has not, it has not passed. And now I think that there are enough people on the ACA that it's pretty difficult to overturn. But, we don't worry about that. We just move ahead. And if something changes, we'll figure it out. But we don't worry about that.
So if I wanted to avail myself of the service, I have a nephew and a godson who both have autism. And so the families now all learn a little bit about how to help, how to deal with these people, how to integrate them. And they also learn what are the difficult places for them. So one of them isn't good in movie theaters. He doesn't like the crowd and the feeling of confinement. Another one has trouble with social settings. And so we're all appreciative of that. But I say all of that to say this. So then the commercial you've been running, which is 20 plus seconds of just soft music, I always think would be very therapeutic for them at times. But what do you know? It's working for me too.
Well, it's interesting because when I started the centers, I was told by a lot of people, well, you have to be careful about the lights and you have to be careful about the music and the sensory. And I thought to myself, well, no, I don't want to be careful about those things because children are going to have to learn to live in those environments. So we have noise, we have music, we have lights, we have everything, and the kids adjust. But that speaks to early intervention, that we're working with 2 and 3 year olds. So we have circle time where the kids are dancing and singing and it does not disturb them. I mean, it takes a little while.
Yeah.
But with older kids, though, you can still make progress. You can still help children with autism,
right.
Even if they're older.
I have to do this. We have to end the conversation so that we can play your commercial, sir. If people want to get a hold of you all, how do they do that?
Well, they can go to our website, which is theplaceforchildrenwithautism.com, and there's a lot of information on that. I think if they want to get a hold of me, my email's on there. But the best place is the Place for Children with Autism, and we're doing a lot of stuff on our Facebook page for parents, who are staying at home, and we're doing a lot of telehealth right now.
Yeah, I'll bet.
So who are we dedicating this one to today?
Let's dedicate this moment of reflection and gratitude to the grocery store delivery people that put themselves at risk to provide help for us and others.
This moment of quiet reflection and gratitude is courtesy of Daniel Blank, founder of the Place for Children with Autism.